Hey everyone, this is Callie with the California Perspective. The new M1 powered MacBooks are out, and I jumped at the chance to put down my own money to purchase one. Here's why. Intro! First and foremost, I'm in the market for a new laptop. I do not have any Windows or Linux specific programs that I need to run, or apps. For over a year, I've been looking for a machine to be able to work on my videos and not be glued to my 2009 Mac Pro. I want something I can use on the couch or in bed and not worry about blocking the fan. My Lenovo Y7000 Legion is a powerful machine, but the battery life is pretty bad, and any kind of soft material blocks the fan outlets. Now, my current workflow uses Final Cut Pro 10, which requires Mac OS. Second, I have no qualms about returning the MacBook Air if it doesn't fit my needs. I tried and returned the last Intel-based MacBook Air because it was insufficient. The fans were loud and the performance throttled quickly. MacTech found that the new MacBook Air still throttles a bit, but the performance is pretty good nonetheless. So one of the reasons I liked it is the thinness with good thermals. So the MacBook Air is thin, at least for now. The view of what is thin may change in the next few years as Apple updates their lineup and redesigns their products to match the capabilities, and perhaps more importantly, greater efficiency of their current chips compared to the Intel versions. The lower power draw of Apple Silicon will likely lead Apple down the path of thinner and thinner designs, eventually impacting thermal cooling of the machines. I want a fanless design. As I said at the top, I want to be able to use the device without worrying about blocking the fan vents. I don't strain my laptops too much. I don't think so anyway, though my 25 Firefox tabs might disagree with me. So quiet use without blocking fan vents or having fan vents to block is right up my alley. Price. I'm not going to spend the money on a MacBook Pro. If I wait, the next MacBooks Apple is going to offer will be improved and more expensive MacBook Pros. I got the smaller storage option with the expectation that I'll be offloading most of my files to external hard drives once I'm done with current projects. So that started me at $999 for the base model, giving me 7 GPU cores instead of 8. Then I spent $200 more on extra RAM. I expect history to be my guide on this one. I use my machines until they're about to die. Then I find another use for them. I still have old Windows XP machines lying around, which I pull out every now and then and find some odd use for them. So with history as my guide, RAM is the first thing to come up short on all my old machines. The processors and batteries are still able to survive, but the low amounts of RAM make the machines terribly frustrating to use. On top of the $1,100 I spent on the device itself, I spent another $230 for Apple Care for that extra 2 years of coverage. One is already included, so it goes for 3 years. I usually get this type of coverage for laptops, but it's about $400 on SquareTrade, so that alternative was out. I'm less likely to lose this than smaller items. I would not recommend Apple Care for AirPods, since you're likely to lose one more than break it. And if I drop this machine, or if this is the first generation chips that run too hot, craps out, or any number of terrible possibilities, I like to be covered. In the end, my grand total was $1,330 plus tax, which will vary from place to place. If I had upgraded the storage, I would have gone with the 512 gigabytes, which would have been another $200. That would have taken me to over $1,500. If I were to buy the M1 MacBook Pro, it would be a starting price of $1,300, which would provide me the fan, extra battery life, and that other GPU core. So that's why I got the MacBook Air. If I went with the MacBook Pro, I would have to decide if I was going to get more storage, more RAM. The extra fan would have led me to think I'm going to be holding on to it longer. But Apple historically, on their first generation products, don't support them as long as the second and third generation, especially that third generation. That'll be the one to watch out for with the M3. But with the iPhone, with the iPad, they have a history of putting things out, and while they perform excellent, they're not supported as long. And if I'm shelling out over $1,000, I want something that is going to last. But if I'm shelling out $2,000, it better last me for a very long time. And I just don't think that these are going to do that. I know people who still use their MacBook Airs for light bits of computing, and it works wonderfully for them. They're ready to upgrade, so a lot of people are excited and looking at these new ones. But I don't think the long-term performance gains of having the fan are going to surpass the extra price and putting that towards the next device. Essentially, I'd be able to buy 2 MacBook Airs for the price of the current MacBook Pro. And the next generation MacBook Pros are going to be even better. Once they switch to the design that has 2 ports on each side, so a total of 4 ports, those are going to be much more handy. It is terribly inconvenient having just the 2 ports on the one side because you can't plug in on either side, which was the advantage of losing the MagSafe on the Macs to begin with. So yeah, that's why I got the MacBook Air. But now I want to know about you. Are you in the market for a new laptop? Is Apple kind of on your list, but you're looking at other things? Did you pick up an M1 MacBook Air? Or a MacBook Pro? Or a Mac Mini? Are you considering one? Did you just decide to pass on this entire operation and waiting for reviews before pulling the trigger? Or waiting for the next generation? Let me know down in the comments. So for now, I'm Callie, this is the California Perspective, and I'll catch you in the next one.